Be the ball. Be the ball. Be the ball.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're heading to the world of Last Epoch once again. And what do I have for you today? A new Warlock specific new movement skill coming February 21st for 1.0 titled Profane Veil. And this is a very fun skill that has so many different options for your Warlock. And in the background right now, this is Profane Veil in its default form. So let me show you what's possible. So now let's start with the tooltip for Profane Veil. Channel to conceal yourself with Profane Veil that deals necrotic damage over time to enemies around you. While concealed, you dodge every hit, but you can still take damage from damage over time effects, such as ailments, and you move more slowly. Lasts up to 2 seconds, also ends when you release the key. Cooldown does not recover during use. Scaling tags. Necrotic spell, damage over time, area, channeled movement, and intelligence. There's going to be a lot of different scaling tags coming in as you see when I break down this tree. Advanced view of Profane Veil. Intelligence at 4%. You have 40% less movement speed while channeling. Multiplicative. Added spell damage applies a 200% effectiveness. Now, there's so much in this tree. We're just going to go kind of corner by corner, starting with the top up here. Any fire fans out there? Let's go through some notes. Discourage. Profane Veil has a chance to slow enemies each second, and you have a way to leech life. Going up, you have fire conversion. So necrotic is now converted to fire, and ignite chance per second at 75%. Now, I've been getting lots of questions about, Aaron, these curses look cool, but how do you actually apply some of those curses? Well, penance is with Profane Veil. Profane Veil's area inflicts penance to its enemies, which is a curse that causes enemies to take fire damage when they hit a target. Penance is tied to Profane Veil. Now it gets way better. You have Hellfire. Okay, you ready for this? While in Profane Veil, you gain a percentage of your damned, bleed, poison, slow, and ignite chance on hit as a chance to ignite per second for Profane Veil. So all of those, damned, bleed, poison, slow, at up to 300%, all turn in to ignite. Infernal Deliverance. When you first damage an enemy with Profane Veil, you have a chance to cast Infernal Shade on them. And last but not least, Propane Form. Profane Veil now gains the Traversal tag. You move faster, equal to a portion of the chance to ignite on hit up to a maximum, but Profane Veil has a shorter duration per chance to ignite on hit up to the maximum. Let's check out some Profane Veil Fire Edition. So now let's talk about the bottom part of this skill tree, starting with Spirit Plate. Damage reduction from armor now also applies to damage over time taken while in Profane Veil. Now I want to set the stage. Right now I have a level 100 Warlock, and I've done lots and lots and hours of testing. And in that testing, with Spirit Plate and Profane Veil, because I use both, I've never died with that combination. That does not mean you are unkillable. As you progress, of course, you can die with this, but you are extremely tanky with this node. Derision, you gain ward per dexterity when you dodge while in Profane Veil. And then I've had a lot of people super disappointed that they haven't seen anything around Wandering Spirits yet. I've got a node for you. Sentence: when a wandering spirit is revealed inside of Profane's Veil area, the spirit deals more damage, multiplicative, in a larger area for the rest of the spirit's duration. Additionally, for each spirit revealed inside of Profane's Veil area, you gain ward per uncapped necrotic resistance. And as you know, it is really, really easy to start at 95 necrotic resistance if you watch my passive tree breakdown video. So damage to wandering spirits, you can get up to 75% multiplicative. You can get up to 75% on its area, and then ward gained per 5% uncapped necrotic resistance. So the idea behind this is you are spec'd into wandering spirits, and you get the largest possible area for your Profane Veil with the longest duration. And you cast Wandering Spirits, then you go into Profane Veil, and any ones that come up, you get a huge boost to your Wandering Spirits. So yeah, it's not this huge, crazy node, but you can spec into it. Let's continue. Visage of Terror, you now fear nearby enemies for a short duration when you exit Profane Veil. Additionally, Profane Veil deals more damage multiplicative to feared or slowed enemies. Sable Inquisition, you can boost the area of your Profane Veil, maybe for your wandering spirits. And then an interesting note down here, Profane Instruments. Profane Veil gains additional effects depending on the weapon type you are using. Staff is increased area, wand is multiplicative damage, scepter is duration, dagger is movement speed, and axe is kill threshold. Now, I could be wrong, and I would admit it. With Profane Veil using an axe, you get a 21% kill threshold. I think that's the highest in the game. 21%. I don't know who's gonna use an axe though. All right, 3 more nodes. We're not going to move here. You already saw this one. Mire of Words. Profane Veil immobilizes cursed enemies for a short duration, but bosses and rare enemies will instead be chilled. So you have a chill effect on bosses and rares. Scorn, you deal more global damage, multiplicative to cursed enemies while in Profane Veil. You want to make sure you get that curse on them. And I think this singular node I'm about to show you will likely be the fan favorite for those build makers out there. Stream of Profanity. Directly casting a curse skill reduces Profane Veil's remaining cooldown. This effect can occur a maximum number of times. Aaron, how quickly can I cool down Profane Veil? Great question. So now let's talk about movement speed. Obviously, Profane Veil is pretty slow, and there are ways to tweak it to definitely make it faster, but this isn't like your channeling Ghost Flame map clearing skill. At least we're gonna have to wait and see. But there are nodes to boost the move speed for this skill. Eternal Blasphemy. Profane Veil lasts longer and you move faster while in it. And then you have Single-Minded. While in Profane Veil, you move faster and it has a shorter cooldown, but it no longer changes direction while concealed, and it has a shorter duration without being able to extend its duration. And this is going to give you the Traversal tag. Movement speed 75%, increased cooldown recovery speed, counts as a traversal skill, and it cuts your duration in half. Let me show you default or me taking these 4 nodes. I'm not going to grab this node up here, which technically you can move it, make it quicker, okay? I'm going to show you the difference between default speed and these 4 points. you have probably noticed by now that Profane Veil ticks a lot of boxes. If you want to use the skill a certain way, you can probably figure out how. And now we are moving over to the minion lovers in the room. Sounds a little weird. All right, Vampiric Pool. Profane Veil now consumes your minions, and consuming minions this way grants you ward equal to a portion of their maximum health, as well as extending its remaining duration by a small amount. So Profane Veil is going to eat your minions, give you ward, and extend the duration so you can move farther. But wait, there's more. You now summon volatile zombies when you exit Profane Veil equal to the number of minions consumed up to the maximum from Vampiric Pool node. Zombies summoned this way do more damage multiplicative in a larger area per intelligence. Number of zombies summoned 1, damage per intelligence 1%, and zombies per area 1%. And furthermore, you can push this with Omnivore. The benefits from Vampiric Pool and Apo nodes now also trigger when you kill enemies with Profane Veil. This limit from Vampiric Pool remains the same, can trigger from enemies. Do you want to see your Profane Veil creating zombies?
Wither before me. Feel my wrath.
So now we're going to move on to the top right of the tree, and in my opinion, my favorite way of playing Profane Veil. Here we go. Loose Tongue. This is going to bring down your mana cost. Harsh Words further bring down your mana cost and boost your multiplicative damage. Grave Circle. This is going to apply enemies with Mark for Death and apply Mark for Death on you. It's a two-way street. You have Mark of the Rat. When you apply Mark for Death to an enemy or yourself by any method, all your stacks of damned and poison on them spread to nearby enemies. So you could spread out your poisoned and damned with Mark of the Rat. As you move down, Forked Tongue. You can now create a secondary Profane Veil area that is detached from you and move towards the enemy, but Profane Veil now has a higher mana cost. So this is definitely a huge mana boost as far as cost of the skill, but you get 2 Profane Veils. And if you want to be able to cast that secondary Profane Veil where you want, you take Second Rights. The secondary area from Forked Tongue is now created at the target location, but Profane Veil costs additional mana. So you can get all those benefits by targeting where you want that second one to go. And my favorite nodes on this tree. Profane Orbs. While in Profane Veil, you consume 6 mana to cast a Profane Orb each second that seeks out enemies. And lastly, Hex Flurry. Increases the frequency of Profane Orb by 1%. Increase cast speed for curses you have. Additionally, Profane Orb deals more damage, multiplicative per curse on the target. Cast speed, most important stat, and it actually has its own tooltip. Profane Orb. An orb of profane energy that seeks out the nearest enemy and explodes. Hitting all nearby enemies, added damage applies at 200% effectiveness. Scaling tags, necrotic spell, area intelligence, and of course 4% on intelligence scaling. What I'm going to do is I've got 10 points. We're going to go boom, boom, boom. We'll take those. We'll take secondary area. We are now on the home stretch. 2 nodes left. Lake of Blood. Profane's Veil's base necrotic damage is converted to physical. Consequently, this damage scales with increase to physical damage, but not increase to necrotic damage. Profane Veil deals more damage, multiplicative, with other modifiers per 10% global bleed chance on hit. Swaps Profane Veil's necrotic tag for a physical one. And you probably know what this last node is. The picture gives it away. Desecrated Graves. You now cast Bone Curse when you enter and exit Profane Veil. Everybody knows the fan favorite inside of Transplant, where you cast Bone Curse around the target location when you arrive. Well, inside the movement skill Profane Veil, that is going to happen when you come in and out of Profane Veil. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for Profane Veil, a very new, exciting Warlock skill coming February 21st, 1.0, Echoes from the Void. I want to know your opinion. Do you like this skill? Do you plan on using it? What is your favorite part? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be live every single night throughout the week answering any questions I can on Warlock. So come visit Aaron Action RPG on Twitch. We just hang out, have a good time, and talk last Epoch. I'm done. Hopefully you're entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.